Alright, everyone, time to take a look at the second episode of the day, which is Kujaku's Great Ascension. At the seaside, a woman in white is staring at the water that Daigo identifies as Kujaku. He asks how she is doing and states she's fine due to the team. She then asks how Gar is. Daigo shakes his head, but then he states he has newly a holy peacock teardrop, but as a feather falls out, making her raise it and realize she only has two left, and when they're gone, her life will be over. At Darwinger headquarters, Kaku is meditating when he sees the holy peacock teardrop. As he does, the people within the city struggle on the ground, making him realize that the thing that is supposed to save people can harm them instead. Elsewhere, Gar is placing her blood on a straw doll, making her recite a spell to take her magical demon blood and arise from the scarlet internal flame, declaring Kujaku won't take the holy peacock teardrop. At a lake shrine where the lead led to, Doug reveals that there was an epidemic around there where people survived by drinking drops and called it a savior, worshipping as a deity. The inside of the shrine confirms it has holy peacock teardrop, but Doug says that it became lost in the ground due to an earthquake. The shrine was built on the point where the teardrop was lost, and the villagers kept worshipping it by making paintings. Daigo reveals the teardrop must be nearby, meaning they should care for it. However, the duo are attacked by a ghostly warrior surrounded by Yo, and looking like Gara appears before them. Kujaku reveals this is Gara's vengeful spirit as her hair flies up and she breathes powerful Yo blasts, making Daigo transform and attempt to attack it, but being strangled and thrown down by the spirit. Kujaku feels the spirit won't disappear until Gara is defeated, which is confirmed by the government general who challenges her to fight her so the spirit can vanish, and that she swears her on her scar for this. The Peacock Buddha pursues her, stating Daigo has nothing to do with this rivalry of theirs, and orders her to stop the spirit's attacks. Bagar attacks her, making Kujaku continue to plead, but making the general draw her sword, forcing Kujaku to draw her daggers, and the two to fight until they reach a quarry. Confronting each other, the two charge and attack, while Shishu Ranger keeps fighting the vengeful spirit, forcing him to transform. However, an earthquake suddenly rips the ground open, dragging Daigo down. Gar's spirit spits out Yo blasts, hitting him until the other Day Rangers appear to push her back. Daigo though loses his grip, throwing him into the crevice where he falls until something makes him stop and float close to the ground. Regaining his footing, he turns and discovers the holy peacock teardrop, which he takes and stares at, realizing he finally found it. On the surface, Kujaku loses her second to last feather before Gara throws her to the ground with a Yo blast and tries to strike, but Kujaku blocks it and throws her back with ki. As they fight, Daigo returns with the holy peacock teardrop, which makes Daigo tells the team of Kujaku's situation and to find her before she loses the last of her feathers. As they search, Kujaku staggers through a field as Gara seems to rise, but her eyes are bleeding, having lost her eyesight in the previous battle. General says she won't lose even without her eyes, but her Yo blasts fly in various directions without hitting anything, making her keep proclaiming she will win until she falls to the ground. Discovering another fallen feather, Daigo realizes she has one left before she dies, while panicking and yelling for where Kujaku is. However, Master Kaku appears to them without warning, asking them to listen to him. Daigo pleads they need to get the peacock teardrop to save her, but the master states that even if they get the holy peacock teardrop to her, she will constantly be out of life as long as Earth's air remains polluted. He then has to remove the planet's polluted air. Kaku wonders if it's worth destroying mankind. Daigo is confused, but Kaku says that modern humans have become immune to various viruses and diseases throughout time, and wonders what will happen if those viruses were eliminated and the immunity which came to them. We realize as humans will no longer be immune, and Kaku wonders what would happen if a new virus would appear that would wipe humanity. Thus it could save Kujaku but be a threat to mankind in the process. Daigo claims he's lying, but the master states he isn't, making Shishu Ranger wonder if they can't save Kujaku. But Kaku states his fate, making Shishu Ranger angry, and that he can't let Kujaku die. He tells everyone to help save Kujaku, but they continue to stand silently, making Daigo stop as he runs off. Kaku telling him not to before using ki to stop him and grab the peacock tear. Daigo fights his master but is easily crushed until he grabs it and is kicked before Master Kaku hits him into the cliffside, making him fall and lose the tear. The artifact glows as Kujaku appears before it. Not in confirmation as Daigo tells her to run with the Holy Peacock teardrop, but she only shakes her head and tells Kaku that she's now well aware about the disaster she could give to Earth with the artifact. However, she just says she just wants one drop of Holy Peacock teardrop, turning into her rainbow peacock form and flying away with the other Dire Rangers racing after her. As Scar struggles on the ground with her blindness, Kujaku appears before her with the general preparing to fight once again. Stating she won't let the Dire Rangers interfere, she summons her vengeful spirit, forcing the Dire Rangers to transform to fight. Preparing for what will be her final battle, Gara draws her sword at her former friend with the Peacock Buddha understanding and drawing her dagger in response. Gara throws a Yo-Blast, but Kujaku avoids it before she throws Ki, knocking her to the ground. As the Dire Rangers keep fighting Gara's spirit, the drone tells Kujaku to kill her so she could be cursed and haunted by a former friend as long as she lives. However, she takes the Holy Peacock teardrop and drops it into Gara's scar, the power curing that and healing her eyes. Telling her to open her eyes, Gara realizes she can see again while Kujaku reveals the scar is gone as well, making the general realize she used the power for her sake. She becomes pacified. Gara's vengeful spirit vanishes, confusing the Dire Rangers while Kujaku says goodbye to her former friend and staggers away. As Daigo runs to her, the general runs off. No longer needing the Holy Peacock teardrop, Kujaku throws it into the lake, shocking Daigo as it sinks beneath the surface. Turning to him one last time, Kujaku calls for Daigo as she falls to the ground, her last feather falling with her. Realizing what's happening, Daigo rushes to her, wondering why she saved Gara. She says she went to train under the Peacock Buddha to figure out how to remove Gara's scar, and her wish has finally been granted. She says she is the incarnation of the Peacock Buddha, who repels disasters and wishes only for peace among all living things. Thus she is satisfied. She tells Daigo she is glad she returned and was glad to have met him before falling onto his shoulder to her death, making him cry and embrace her fallen body. With Kujaku gone, Daigo walks into the lake and lifts her body as a beam of rainbow ki covers her, turning her back into her peacock form, which flies into the heavens. Looking at the feather that started it, he sees the vision of Kujaku having ascended into becoming the Peacock Wisdom Queen as she dreamed of humanity's eternity. Yet with Daigo still standing there in sorrow. Aww. So overall, this is a pretty heartbreaking episode, and yeah, what's the good thing that Kujaku didn't take the Holy Peacock teardrop and instead used it to heal Gara. It's still kind of sad that that we may not ever see her again. So yeah. So overall, I give Kujaku's Great Ascension 5 Megazords out of 5. When I tune in, we take the final episode of the day, A Straight Line to Mom. So until then, in the words of Zordon, may the power protect you.